Hey guys, and welcome back to Induction Noise. And with me as always is Nico.
As it.
And today we are walking around Cape Town. What am I talking about? We're not walking.
I mean,
we could walk if you want to.
We could walk, but
we have a Ferrari. so
I don't know why you would walk if you've got a naturally aspirated V12 in the front with awesome sounding exhaust.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah.
So what we have here is a 2002 Ferrari 575M Maranello in Rosso Corsa with a beautiful tan interior, which is it's like the best spec.
Ferrari Resale Red.
And we're going to drive it around a little bit to see what is a Ferrari F1 gearbox really like. So we're not really reviewing the car so much because the car's awesome and we love the car, but we want to see what this F1 gearbox is really like, because that's the thing that everyone always goes, it's an F1 box.
Yeah.
But no one's ever driven one. Yeah. So let's go see what it's actually like.
All right, so we're going to have to start this thing up now, and Q has quite graciously slivered himself there into the driver's seat, and I've got a mic here, and will you do the honors, Q?
So guys, here we are inside the 575M Maranello, and we're cruising along, and as you can hear, it sounds pretty damn good in here, but it's not overly loud.
Not that bad,
I'm actually surprised.
Before we started, you were saying, it might be a bit too loud, which was kind of like sacrilege to hear that coming out of someone's mouth. Like, there's nothing like a too loud exhaust, but just cruising, it sounds nice, and all you can hear is the on downshifts, and
it does go.
And I must say, for a supercar, it's quite comfortable in here. Eh? It's
well, you say supercar, but technically the 575 was a GT car, so it's a long distance cruiser.
True, but you would kind of expect any Ferrari to be kind of a bit not uncomfortable, but it's just going to feel kind of on edge, you know what I'm saying? But this is quite normal, in fact.
It's quite
I would
settled.
say. It's nothing out of the order. I don't know if the camera would be picking that up, but the shifts is it sounds quite good. And the first reaction towards the F1 gearbox is it's not clunky.
No, it's not.
It's smooth.
In my experience, this is just what I do when I drive an F1.
Yeah.
Is you don't use the automatic mode because it's not an automatic gearbox.
Yeah.
So you're never going to do it justice by leaving it in auto.
Yeah.
Drive it like you would a manual.
Okay.
But obviously, you don't lift off when you change gears.
Yeah.
You just literally want to take your pressure
off
you just take the pressure off your foot a little bit so that the drive line basically goes slack.
Okay.
And once it goes slack, you flick the pedal, the gears change over, and there's no clunk. I mean, that's
as I said,
smooth as
it's
silk.
smooth as silk. It's smoother than if I were to change a gearbox manually.
Yeah. And now when you sort of get used to it, you'll also start realizing that it shifts differently depending on how you're driving it. Like right now, we're cruising quite slowly, quite sedately, and the changes are very smooth, but they are quite slow. So, you know, it takes a second for it to change gear, kind of like it would do if you were driving just a normal manual.
It's a Saturday or a Sunday in Italy. That's all
exactly.
it is.
We're just cruising around.
Just cruising around, you know, we've got the beach next to us, like, we're just having a relaxing day, sun's out. You've got the beautiful track of the F12 of the V12 behind you, not the F12. There's no F12 behind us, right?
not right now. No.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible with Mooley Point. You know, it
is what it is.
It is what it is.
But I mean, would you say that the stuff that the journalists said about F1 gearboxes is justified from us driving around?
It's like when the people talk about 4Cs. They're like, oh, it tram lines and it this and it that.
Yeah, but it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Don't you become a typical journalist here next to me, sir. You've driven a 4C and you enjoyed it. Don't talk.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I just said that it does tram line.
You were just not holding on to the steering wheel.
So does a race car, you know. So
okay,
it's all good.
Okay,
it does what it does.
Okay. I see what you did there. But no. This is honestly a very smooth drive, a very comfortable drive, and I could live with this.
I mean, really absolutely.
You'll get quite a fuel bill, but
it's not designed to be an economy runner.
No, but comfort-wise, if we were to do Naisna again,
oh yeah, I could totally drive this to Naisna.
Imagine two of these. That would be awesome. That would be quite awesome. And tell me, Q, if you go into, I see a little sport button here. What does that do for the gearbox?
There's a sport button here. Basically what the sport button on this particular card does is it'll make the gear changes a little bit quicker, a little bit more aggressive. But what I really like about sport mode, and the reason that I generally drive with it turned on like it is now, is because you'll notice when you downshift in sport mode, it now blips the throttle quite aggressively. So it rev matches when you're downshifting. And with this exhaust, it gets a little addictive.
It kind of sounds nice, eh?
It does kind of
Is that when it does the blah, blah, blah?
It goes blah, 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 blah.
Well, whenever this robot turns green, we'll probably have to experience that, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. It's actually a switch, not a button.
Yeah, so this one's like a little toggle switch on the dashboard.
Okay. Kind of feels like you're in fighter pilot mode.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Which you are. So, with law enforcement watching there, we go in the speed limit. Don't you worry.
Yeah, there's lots of law enforcement around, unfortunately.
They kind of got the word that Induction Noise is driving around.
Induction Noise is in town with a Ferrari, so...
You know, and we couldn't pop over to Mexico, sorry. We might still try, but we couldn't. Oh, that sounds good.
It does.
Oh, that sounds good.
The other thing that you'll notice with the F1 box, when you start getting used to it, is when you pull away slowly, and you're driving slowly, and you change gear, it does it quite smoothly.
Yeah.
But when you're leaning on it, when you're really going for it, you don't want to lift. You want to just keep it pinned, because then if you're going over a certain RPM and a certain throttle opening, it will actually change gear super quickly.
Okay.
And it doesn't need breathing room to do that.
Well, I mean, when you're on it, you anyways you kind of enjoy that little kick in the back, eh?
Yeah, and it's not a big kick in the back or anything. It's just a quick jolt, and then it's over. But just demonstrating the down changes there.
What did we say? Flick a pedal and skedaddle.
Something like that.
That's what it does. That's what it does. I mean, I would dare say the F1 box is more refined than the gearbox that was in the V10 M5. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the SMG box in the BMWs was terrible compared to this.
Yeah, that's really something to complain about. And once again, if you get used to it, you'll probably be able to drive it smoothly. I'm not questioning that, but this seems like a much more enjoyable, smooth drive compared to that.
But you know, the thing I like about it, and the reason that I've started, you know, me, Captain Save the Manuals, I've started to love these F1 boxes, is because it gives you the freedom that you need in a car that's this quick, but at the same time, there's still a level of involvement. There's still a certain skill that you need to learn in order to drive this. and just having that little bit of involvement, it still makes it feel like you're part of the process. It's not just doing everything for you. Whereas with the dual clutch, like you have in the newer cars, I mean,
It's point and shoot.
yes, it has its advantages, but I mean, the gear changes in that are really much of a formality. They don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Now, just to demonstrate what the quick change feels like.
There we go.
That's basically as bad as it gets.
I mean, that's awesome. You want that drama, right? You're not buying a Ferrari to be a daily. Yes, you can daily it. Yes, you can drive it every day if you really have the funds for it. But you want it to feel special.
Yeah.
You want it to feel special. And
just that little bit of alienness to it just makes it fun.
No car that is perfect is nice to own, in my opinion.
No, you don't want a perfect car.
No, it's.
So what about the rest of the car? I mean, performance-wise, what do you think?
It's bloody quick. I was expecting it to be quick, but it gets up and goes, eh?
It does.
And I mean, it's spacious in here. I'm literally far from you. There we go. Good brakes as well. Oh, it sounds so nice.
Those downshifts are the
It's
best.
so nice. And wait. How does it go? I mean, the styling, I've said multiple times, this is probably one of my favorite era of Ferrari.
Oh yeah.
And the 575 is the pinnacle of that.
And I
for me.
like the interior as well. I like the fact that there's two-tone on the dash. I like the tan. I think this is a fantastic color.
Yes, 100%.
I like the fact that there's bespoke metal things that
Aluminium
are
down
real metal.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not just plastic.
No. And it's proper leather, right? It's not.
And here's the thing that's going to surprise a lot of guys, because the one thing that everyone always moans about in an Italian car is the build quality.
Yeah.
Look at this. All still 100% perfect. Everything still works. Everything's still solid. There's no rattles in here. This car has 64,000 Ks on the clock.
Wow.
It's not a new car.
Wow.
But I mean, it's marvelous. I love this thing.
And let's talk about these seats, right? They quite buckety, but they super comfy. I mean, it's a big cushy seat that still keeps you in. It doesn't restrict you and you feel like, oh, my back is gonna kill me or so. You could really do 1,000 kilometers in this car and not feel uncomfortable at all.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, my legs is barely touching the front, and I'm not a short guy. You know, I'm average sized person, and
He's a real boy.
I'm a real boy, Dad.
I mean, he is only 16, but you know, he's fully grown.
At least I got a license at 16. I tried twice, but I got it.
Took a couple of attempts, you know.
Yeah, you know, as one does in Bloemfontein. But no, really a very nice interior. And I love small details, right? So I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but here in the back you've got these straps, which from what I know, back in the day, you probably got some special Ferrari case that you could strap in there.
On all of these GT cars, even on the 599 and the F12 these days, you'll see that it's got these luggage racks at the back. It's got these little plastic strips so that you can put your bags on there. It won't damage the upholstery. And then obviously the luggage straps to tie them down. And you used to be able to get, as an optional extra, you could get the fitted luggage pack. And it would have a couple of bags that fit here, a couple of bags that fit in the boot exactly as the shape of the boot is. And you know, if you were going to use it as a GT car to go on road trips and stuff, I mean, that would be fabulous to have.
No, exactly. And I mean, imagine walking into the showroom in 2001, going to fetch your 575M Maranello, and you've got everything laid out perfectly. You've got your bags here in the back, and there's a certain smell Italian cars has.
Oh yeah.
It's and it's also an era thing, right? A 2020 Italian it doesn't smell as good as this.
This has
The
got that,
naughty's got a naughty smell to it.
that little bit of, it's leather and just a hint of glue or something.
And I
It's
can
awesome.
smell some type
And the
of
carpets.
cigar, you know, it's
It's almost like the guy was building it whilst smoking.
exactly. It wasn't smoked in the car. It's just the leather has a cigar taste in it.
Yeah.
It makes you want to go home in the afternoon, pour whiskey, sit in your big chair looking at your Ferrari and have a cigar with it.
If not, why not?
Exactly. If James Hunt could do it, why can't you? It's Ferrari ownership thing.
So I've got the window open and it's possibly a little bit windy in Cape Town, but the sound of this thing is just spectacular.
Oh, even just shifting into first gear, it's like the car is.
It just does
I'm
that
here.
little...
Yeah, I'm here. Don't mind me. I'm here. Don't worry. And you'll have to drive this car with the windows open. You can't drive it with the windows down. Well, up.
Yes, up.
Sorry.
Because
I've
when you do
tried
drive
twice
it with
there,
the windows open, it sounds like this.
There we go. What a fantastic noise. This car just turns fuel into noise. That's what it does.
Well, noise and horsepower.
Noise and speed.
Noise and speed.
What is the horsepower on here?
I don't know. I would imagine it's somewhere around the sort of 500 mark.
Probably.
Because that's kind of what it feels like.
It's sufficient.
It is definitely sufficient.
Yes. That's one.
It's not lacking for horses.
No, not at all. And as you've probably driven manual Ferraris before.
Yeah, I have driven quite a few manual Ferraris. Usually they are of the older variety,
Okay.
obviously. And I love the snickety snick of the gated manuals.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between a 360 with a gated manual, for example,
Yeah.
or a 360 with the F1, I couldn't justify the price difference.
Yeah.
Because this gearbox is 99% of the fun that you'll get from the gated manual,
Yeah.
and
It's about R1 million cheaper.
it's $1 million price difference
Yeah.
on the market currently.
Yeah.
And I couldn't justify that because
No.
this really is a fantastic gearbox
No.
to use.
It's really awesome. Well, I think that kind of sums up the F1 gearbox.
Pretty much. I mean, it's awesome. So just as we're arriving back at the showroom, the other thing that F1 gearboxes got criticized for quite heavily was slow speed maneuverability. And I have to say that if you're not used to it, it can be a little tricky. But just to give you a demonstration, because I'm going to park this car now, once it's warmed up, it's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Okay? Because what happens is guys start the car up, it's cold, it idles at higher RPMs.
Yeah.
Which
So it
means
wants to lurch.
the minute you touch the accelerator, it then lurches
Yeah.
because you're running at 2,500 RPM.
Yeah.
Once it's warmed up a little bit, you can literally, I mean, if you touch the throttle,
Just starts going forward like a normal automatic car.
it just moves slowly, smoothly. It's very well controlled. It's not, going to lurch or jump or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just have to remember that you have got 500 and whatever horsepower under your right foot, and if you're gonna jab the throttle, it's gonna jump.
Yeah.
But if you're gentle with it and you just move your foot slowly, it's quite manageable. It's actually quite
it's a
easy.
Ferrari. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an
It's
asshole.
Just drive it properly. Drive it properly, relax,
And do your
enjoy
thing.
it. Yeah,
That's how it works.
Well, I mean, I'm hooked. I'm honestly hooked. I've been hooked on this car from the start, but after being in it now for the first time, I'm hooked on it.
So does that mean we're gonna do an offer
Yeah,
to
I
purchase
think we need
quickly?
to go quickly sign it. So,
Yeah, your wife's not gonna be happy with you trading in her car. Is what it is, I suppose.
it is what it is.
Is
A
what it
wife
is.
for a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Well, on that
bombshell.
on that bombshell, Q, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for coming, bud. It's been fun. I always enjoy having a chance to take the cars out.
And if you really have the money to buy this 575, it's going for 2 bar, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a lot of car for the money.
It's a lot of car for the
It's
money.
2 million rand for an exceptional example of a fantastic car.
Yeah. And pop down to Gilmore Collection, come have a look at it, maybe sign off to purchase on it. You've heard it, you've seen it drive, you've seen our silly faces when it goes blah, 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 blah. And there's only one more thing to say, and we'll keep to this.
Well, in this car, it's actually very easy because you're driving around in this, you are going to stay classy.
You are going to stay classy, San Diego.
Indeed. Stay classy, Maranello.
Oh, stay classy, Maranello. There we go.
There we go.